procedures to curb spread of coronavirus. The plan has been released by the Minister for Kampala, Betty Amongi, with emphasis put on owners of public vehicles to adapt to modalities for protection of their workers and passengers. The modalities include putting in place measures to avoid direct contact, procuring a thermometer gun to measure temperature, have seating capacity, and maintain the 5-meter distance while operating in taxi parks. Also, putting on masks for passengers is a must.
Should be allowed to enter without a mask. And a vehicle found carrying passengers without mask will lose and risk losing their licenses for operating within the Greater Kampala metropolitan area.
The Ministry for Kampala has also urged taxi owners who operate in Greater Kampala to report to KCCA Friday 29th and be assigned parks, numbers and routes to operate after the ban on public transport is lifted. After the process of registration, they are required to report to Ministry of Works to acquire a temporary route chart for operation until 31st December. There are mandatory fees they have to pay.
Mandatory fees are PSV, passenger service vehicle licenses. That is what licenses you to go on the road. Then the second one is third-party insurance. Third-party insurance is what protects the passenger. When you get an accident, it is that third-party insurance that can help a passenger to make a claim. And then a driving permit.
The registration process involves a taxi getting a route, color and number to fulfill the COVID-19 requirement of tracking and tracing.
I want you who is boarding a public transport. When you board a public transport, you will be able to know the route number. If the number is the taxi number 4, then when somebody tests positive in that number 4, all the data will be in our system. So we will be able to track and trace and know immediately that that particular vehicle number 4 plies the route maybe from Old Taxi Park to Luzira.
In a move aimed at streamlining transport within Kampala City, KCCA is currently gazetting border stages. Border riders, however, have been urged to continue following the presidential guidelines of carrying only luggage for now.
Border-free zone will be areas where borders will not be permitted. It is not the whole of Kampala City. And I want to repeat this because people have been misrepresenting. It is not the whole of Kampala City. It is also not the whole of Kampala Central. It is only part of the area within Kampala Central where we are going to introduce buses.
Meanwhile, as government softens on directives of lockdown, KCCA has urged people to be disciplined and avoid stealing lights and manhole covers.
Turning to the city, they should improve their behavior and preserve our grass and flowers that we put in place. This grass and flowers is part of our effort to improve the environment. It is not simply KCC infrastructure, but this is infrastructure that belongs to everybody.
KCCA also urges the public to be patient with ongoing developments like construction of some roads. I'm Nafka Farida in Kampala.